Opening delivery, not looking a bad line. All on his weight here, I think. Yeah, not a bad start from Zvika there. John's looking down a similar line as well. Yeah, two good starting bowls there, Richard, from both of them.
Yep.
I was just saying Zvika actually names the Portable Rink as one of his favourite venues. He did play here last year, so he's obviously no stranger to the venue.
No, this is not his first event. He first appeared in Wales.
Well, John looks on a very good line here. And just slipping behind. Again, as mentioned before, early ends in these games, the players are just finding the weight, just settling in.
Now once again, Zvika's found a good line. Just dropped a tad short.
Zvika's holding two there. He's got a very good chance for a draw for three.
And looks to be running a bit though on this bowl.
Still very good line. John just got to adjust his weight slightly.
You know, Zvika is a very well established player in Israel. He has a big reputation out there.
Nice chap as well. I spoke to him before he went on to play this morning. A lot of
John,
these overseas players love coming over and experiencing these events.
John's just finding that bend like we saw yesterday.
Zvika gets off to a great start there. As I mentioned, the overseas players love coming over to the events here for the WBT, and they enjoy themselves while they're here. All of them very good players in their own right, and the experience that Zvika's got on this portable rink, he seems to have settled in quite nicely. Of course, it's a pleasure for me today, Richard, to be sat here commentating on one of the legends of commentary, John Price. I know he's commentated on a couple of my games, so I said to him this morning I'd try and return the compliment back.
Yeah, as you rightly say, John has done his fair stint in commentary.
He's commentated all over the world with the likes of David Corkill. He's commentated at Commonwealth Games and World Championships, as well as performed in them to very, very high regard.
Well, he's played a nice line.
All on the pace here.
Savika following him down, taking the high line. Depending on his weight, looks to be running a little.
Well, we found this yesterday, didn't we, Richard? Players in this direction seem to be a little bit more of a challenge to find the pace this way than the other. I don't know why, because out there it seems to be a similar pace both ways in practice.
Well, it's like anything else. Practicing is one thing. When you come onto the match, all of a sudden the pressures are upon you, the tensions rise, and whereas when you're practicing you're just relaxed, when you come to match play it is different for everybody, and that's when you see this, many people would say imperfections, but for these guys it's the case of who adjusts the quickest first.
John needs to put about a yard to get a decent bowl here. It's looking in the area, this one. This is a good adjustment from John.
Yeah.
Well, Zvika's following this down, he must like it. It looks a little bit wide and heavy to me.
Well, his line was perfect, just his weight. John's got a chance to put a few on the board.
Well, similar delivery to his last would get him a double, which would draw the scores even after two ends.
Certainly got a good line, and it's looking like it's going to come all the way home.
Yeah, a good two there for John.
Little sigh of disappointment there from Zvika. He wasn't happy with his end. John's put a full length jack in. Picked a good line. How's his weight? Certainly looking respectable. Yeah, not a bad first bowl. Now, as we said yesterday, people have got to remember that when an overseas player comes, many of them do not have the facilities to practice indoors in their own home countries. So when they come here, the first thing they do is pile onto the rink as soon as it's available to put in quite a few hours of practice. It's not easy for them.
No, especially against players like John who've been on the tour for quite a number of years, let's say, and I think he won the World Championships back in 1990 and been very established, apart from a little blip a couple of years ago where he just slipped out of the top 16, but he seemed to have got renewed vigour and enthusiasm for the game when he got back into the top 16, and now he's playing again quite a lot.
Certainly is, and from his last bowl you can see why. Well, Zvika again, he's got a decent line. His weight looks a bit better. Certainly going to give John a challenge for the jack. Yes, he's picked it up. Really good bowl from him.
Yeah, good bowls from both players going in this direction. Great reply from John to a displaced jack there. That's when experience on this portable really kicks in, when the jack's moved. Oh, John's just got to do a repeat of his last delivery. Looks a tad wider, but he's only got to come in back inside that bowl. Can it make it back in?
Not quite.
Zvika's looking at the takeout shot here. Often easier to play than the dead draw when you've got a displaced jack on the portable. Close. Just missed it.
Wow.
Yeah, very close. Certainly on this portable rink they go off with a thump, don't they?
They do indeed. Certainly rattle down the earphones.
And of course the winner of this game today will face Rob Paxton in the second round. And John faced Rob Paxton at this event last year, so it's a similar draw for those two players.
Well, like you said, John's been around for a long time on the tour. He's reached 19 quarterfinals, 7 semi-finals, 6 runner-ups. You know, and that is a fair achievement for a player of John's stature.
Yeah, and I noticed on the records that he's done quite well in the pairs events with the WBT. He won the World Pairs back in 1999, and he won the World Mixed Pairs 2 consecutive years in 2006 and 2005. So he's always knocking on the door, is John.
Well, Zvika picked out his line again, just trundling through by yard and a half. John was a bit tighter there.
Yeah, I don't think he's adjusted his weight either. Both players really fishing coming in this direction. Creaky floorboard there, just disturbing Zvika's concentration.
Well, of course, that's caused because it is a portable rink. When it's brought in, it's all sections underneath, and those sections are all bolted together. It's then laser levelled, then topped off with 18mm board, which is then screwed to the decking. Well done, John. And then once it's screwed to the decking, all the joints are sanded. And once that's all swept off, then the underlay is laid. The underlay is then taped together along all the seams. And then the carpet's brought in. It's stitched on site, then laid over the top.
Great reply there.
Well played, Zvika.
Zvika.
Then once that's done, it's given a stretch, and then it's speed tested, and the optimum speed that they try to achieve is 17.85 seconds, and that is tested down the middle, down both sides, both ways, so that the whole average is 17.85, and then carpet ends are tucked in, and there's your rink.
Simple job then, Richard. 2 minutes to put it down, eh?
Yeah, 12 people it takes, all turns up on a 44-foot container, team of 12, and it takes them a day and 3/4 to complete it.
Yeah, it's quite amazing if you sit at the side and watch them doing the work, putting the rink down and taking it back up. It's very, very precision.
Well played, Zvika. Another very good bowl.
Zvika back in the lead again. As we go into end 5.
Not quite such a long jack from Zvika. Just picked a good line, all on his weight, as the bowl bends back in towards the jack. Not a bad opening bowl, probably a 1.5 feet through.
John looks to have taken a very wide line here with these bowls, but as you mentioned before, as the bowls start to finish, they swing back in towards the jack. John looks to have adjusted his line slightly. I don't know whether he's adjusted the weight though. Just running past.
Well, Zvika's picked another good line. Again, just their weight, really, but
There's still room for a good bowl there. Well, John has picked a different line this time.
yeah, I think he's taken off too much weight this time. Trying to adjust himself to it. About 1.5 yards short.
Come on, 3 to Zvika. John's having a little bit of a word with himself in the corner there. I'll say at the club I play at, have a word with yourself in the office.
Oh dear, Zvika.
Regroup.
Yep, Zvika's really dropped himself short there.
John just wants 2 feet to a yard in his last bowl. Reach Zvika's bowls. Cuts the count down, probably gets shot out of it.
He's picked that same line as last time. If he's just adjusted his weight and it's looking good.
Yep,
Yeah,
good bowl
there we are.
from John. That draws the scores level at 4 apiece. 4 ends to play. Our marker this morning, Sandra McLeish. Very good bowler in her own right. I think our umpire's Alan Thornhill. And on the shot clock this morning, I think we've got Brian Daly. Very good team of umpires the World Bowls Tour have got. I just got a wee grin off Sandra there, so whether she knew I'd just said that, I don't know.
No, I think she was grinning because we've still got a gremlin in the works at the moment. So to keep the audience appraised of the score, the umpire has been given the task of informing the audience at each end of what the current score is.
John's put a good opener up at this end. Svika's just dropped that yard and a bit short.
Good line from John again.
Yeah, John looks to be settling in now. Finding his line and length. Yeah, good ball from John. John, known as one of the entertainers on the British circuit in particular, does a lot of invitationals, displays and demonstrations.
Zvika's picked his line. Could just get a little glide off John's.
Good effort. He just sat back down, really. I think if it had just sat the other way, he had a chance.
John slightly missing both his line and his weight on that last one.
How far is the jack from the shot ball, please?
4.5 inches.
Zvika picking out a much higher line.
He was just looking for the wide draw there, Richard, but both players have been playing the other hand this way, so I think they're both just finding the weight and line down there.
Now, I have noticed that whenever Zvika plays the wider hand, on either hand basically, plays the wider shot, he overweights it each time. I know you have to allow the bowl more travelling distance, but Zvika hasn't quite cracked that yet. John following, but as you can see, John doesn't take quite the same wide line. Now, if John's adjusted his weight from his last one, and he does look good.
It's very close, this.
Yeah, absolutely Bob perfect. Look at that.
Brilliant ball.
I think Zvika is looking to try and run his own bowl and just turn it over, but unfortunately just gone a bit wide when you're using that overrun.
Yeah, well, as we were mentioning yesterday, those sorts of shots are hard to pick the line on the portable rink.
So John goes 6-4 in the lead. Good line again from John. Just not quite there, but not a bad opening bowl. Most of us playing at home at the clubs would be more than happy with a lead bowl like that.
Very true. John's definitely picking this longer length of jack.
Oh, Zavika doesn't mind it either. Look at this. Of course, John's role in Wales with bowls is as a development officer, so he's always busy. I said to John, do you ever get time for any relaxation apart from your job and playing bowls and the support that you have to give to other bowls? Look at that from John, absolutely spot on.
Great adjustment. I'm sure his answer to that was going to watch the Swansea, Richard.
Well, it was, but he doesn't mind. He loves being with his family. The only thing he absolutely detests, apparently, is gardening. So don't ever ask John to do any gardening, because he absolutely hates it.
I know he's a huge football fan, particularly Swansea. I know he travelled last week to watch them when they played Liverpool. I won't say anything because I'm a Liverpool fan. But
good bowl coming in from Zavika here. Just missed the jack.
But I think even John has a season ticket for Swansea, so that is his other sport he likes to watch. But he does do an awful lot of work within the sport of bowls.
Well, John's gone quite high with that one.
Well, he wouldn't want to tap his own bowl, Richard. He'll want to just get something just behind, covering those two green bowls.
Yeah.
When you're a couple up in a set, you don't want to go giving shots away if you can help it.
Oh, Zavika, you've picked your line quite well, but I think you've overweighted it again. John really needs to put another one back there, doesn't he? Because Zavika's got a little shot on there for a little knock onto John's bowl, tap on the jack. So John just needs to cover that shot.
Well, that's what he's tried with his last couple of Zavika, so I think he'll go again, make that adjustment and hope to get it if John can just cover these three bowls.
Yeah, he's picked that high line again, hoping to let his bowl just work on the curve and drift in. And if he's got the weight, it's looking fairly good.
That's an interesting bowl. It's got second shot, but it actually widens the target slightly for Zavika's.
I think John would have wanted that to go a bit further.
Well, he's picked a slightly different line. It depends on his weight here.
Yeah.
Just going to hang off again.
They haven't got to grips with the fact that you do not play so wide if you're going to play with a bit of a weighted shot.
And that gives John a 4-shot lead with 2 ends to play. He's now 8-4 up.
Yeah. Zavika will be disappointed because, apart from playing bowls, Zavika used to play lots of other sports, including he was very active in basketball, but tennis was his biggest joy, and he was certainly in amongst Israel's top when he played tennis. So he's a very active person, is Zavika.
Yeah, very sporty. He's always played a sport, he tells me, at some point in time, and he likes to sort of like have various different sports on the go as well.
Well, John's sort of fallen off with his first bowl this time. Well, he's picked a decent line. All on your weight, Zvika. Well, it's not looking too back. Sandra's moving closer just to make sure if it becomes a touch or not.
And John's changed his hand. He found this hand at the last end in this direction very well. Just dropped that a little bit short.
A little shake of the head there from John. Obviously not happy with his first 2 bowls. Zvika again picked a good line. But I suspect, looking at it, he's about to drop short.
Yeah,
Yep.
gives John a chance. John's just got to adjust. 18 inches on his last bowl. There you go. 2 feet needed. Great line this from John as he adjusted the
Can he
weight.
just... Yeah, just a tad over now, so...
That's the only problem when you're short, you tend to just over adjust. He's certainly not happy with that, shaking his head down here.
And Zvika delivers his other one. Zvika's got a strange delivery if you watch his arm. When he delivers, he gives his hand a little twist and flings his arm out.
As we were saying yesterday though, Richard, in a few of the games, you notice that some of the players have got different deliveries, but as long as they're consistent deliveries, you'll notice in a minute John's one of the players that bumps his bowl out, but it's a consistent bump. He does it with every bowl.
Yeah.
So therefore, if you're consistent, then you'll find your line and length easier. There you go, there's the bump.
Again, a good line. He's looking for, yes, his weight looks very good.
Very
Just going to
close
roll.
here.
Can he just touch the jack, bring it
Oh,
back?
excellent bowl there, John.
That's a very good bowl there.
Not sure whether that's made
Could
two.
be a double.
Zvika's got a couple of chances down the forehand here. He can promote his own bowl. He could reach the jack, and he's got a bowl behind. So nothing for short, but it's one of those, Richard, where picking the weight's key, really. Just delivered that on 1 second on the shot clock.
Yes.
Of course, the players here are playing under a shot clock rule. They have 30 seconds to deliver their bowl after the last bowl's
Well,
finished.
again, Zvika's pushed that. He's gone on the high line and therefore stayed out.
It's the first set to John, 9-4. Time for Zvika to regroup. It's in sets play. You can always come back in the second set. Yeah, the shot clock was brought in a couple of years back to keep the flow of play going. Players have 30 seconds to deliver the bowl after the last ball stops. And this year they've got 5 timeouts that they can take of 60 seconds.
John just having a quick little chat there before he played his bowl.
I think the discussion was over water bottles. It must be getting a bit warm out there now.
Yeah, well, even though you can't see it, there is a water cooler each end of the rink with a 5-gallon drum of water on, and it's amazing how much water the players do consume during the course of a day.
Well, if you can imagine, Richard, when you're out there on the rink with the lights and the pressure, and all the sports coaches, etc., would tell you you've got to take on fluids of a certain level every hour. And as all these players out there are sporting athletes, I'm sure they'll be maintaining that water and hydration level. She says as she has a slurp of her water.
Well, John, you had the right line, just falling short on the weight. Svika picking the line that he does like. He can just control his weight.
Might
He's
just be
flying a
hanging
little
off,
bit.
I think. Yeah.
I don't think it's so much hanging off. It's just that Zvika's pushed it.
Yeah, it's like you mentioned before. Puts it on that higher line. He seems to put more weight in it.
Yes, he seems to do that every time.
Yeah, I've never actually had the pleasure of playing out in Israel, but whether the surfaces they play on over there, if you get wider, a lot of surfaces I believe are heavier when you get wider. So it could just be his natural instinct that once he goes wider on the rink, it's going to be a heavier line.
Yeah, he's pulled his line in this time. He's still pushed it though. Well, John's greened it well. All on his weight.
I think it might just be lacking again, Richard.
Yes. So, still there for Zvika. To be fair, it's there on either hand, really.
Now that was a grin up at the commentary box. Like I say, he's one of the overseas players, really enjoys his time coming over to play on the WBT.
Yes, he is. He's a really, really nice guy. Like I said before, highly competitive, highly sporting, thoroughly enjoys it. But unfortunately is not just getting to grips with it.
No, he was saying to me yesterday that they play with music playing and entertaining over there, so he obviously likes to entertain. He's not out of this game yet. He's, like I say, he's very much a competitor. And has John kept this jack on?
Only just. Look at that.
That was close.
Well, certainly got the line, and the weight looks fairly
Yeah,
good.
that's a good opener, is that?
There we are. We'll have that for tea, Mummy. Thank you very much.
He's definitely found this forehand coming back down towards the commentary box very well. Zvika preferring the favoured backhand.
Looks as if he's going to just be that tad short again. Well, actually, it's not short, just a little bit on the tight line.
Yeah, just dipped its head at the last minute. Oh, John looks in the area again with this.
Yep, just going behind a little fraction.
Yeah, he won't want to set up a target.
No, Zavika got a little bit annoyed there. You can see that Zavika's little trademark is chuck the bowl in the air when he's unsettled. Just annoyed with himself, not with anything else. Well, he's picked a decent line this time, but I think he has just dropped himself short.
Yeah, got the better line, but dropped the weight.
How's that last one down, Sandy?
Yeah. I thought he was going to headbutt the wall then for a minute.
Bit of set damage.
Again, John just going on that slightly higher line to let his bowl drop. And he's pushed it again. It must be, as you said, Janice, I think it must be an automatic reflex when he picks the higher line.
Yeah, like I say, I've never
Every
played
time.
in Israel, but you do hear about these rinks where, you know, you get outside the centre of the rink and it's that much heavier. And it just seems to be, as you mentioned earlier, any time he's putting a wide line bowl, he's automatically seems to be putting weight in it.
Well, he's not messing about this time. And he's close, very close. Well, one away.
Yeah, he just managed to get the one out of that, John. I think that bowl was a frustration bowl as well as it might be my best idea bowl from Zvika. And he got one away, so he's still in it. 2-0 down after 2 ends. We're playing the third end now.
Again, John going for the long jack.
It's nice to see an Israel flag there and the crowd. Obviously got a few spectators come to watch him.
Yes, he's got quite a few friends in Perth. He was telling me that he's made several friendships over here, which isn't surprising considering the type of person that he is.
I was going to say that's
And,
the sort of bloke he
These
is.
particular couple at the top there have come to watch him for the last 3 years.
I know some of the overseas make the opportunity while they're over here of visiting family and friends, and he says Vika's the sort of chap that will make friends. Very sociable bod.
John about again, just going to drop short, touch his own, give it a roll over, so not all bad.
Vika's just wanting to just drop past John's bowl.
But
As
he's
he put the weight in again.
He's done it again, you see. Every time he goes that wider line, he's putting that weight on. So it's must be just a natural reflex from him.
I can only assume that, Richard, because like you say, he's doing it regularly, and some habits are really, really hard to get out of. It's like we say on the sort of domestic circuit, if a player is used to playing only at home on their own rink, and they get used to a pace. You take them to a different pace rink, and you know they can look really a fish out of water, and just because they're so used to the pace of the rinks they play on. That's where you see the quality of this top 16, because most of them play a lot of events all over the country. Very, very good at adapting. Most of them are internationals.
Well, that's a better line from Zavika. Just needs that extra 2.5 foot, really. And he knows it, and he's getting frustrated with himself, which is very difficult for a player.
Yeah, and from John's point of view, he's probably seeing that and just thinking, "I'll just keep plodding away." Really, just coming up as well to have a look what's gone on there. Two to John. Takes a 4-0 lead in the second set. Well, if John can find the lead he found last time coming in this direction, he's put the jack where he wants it, and he looks in the area with this. Yeah.
Yeah, another really good opening bowl from John. And he's got the right lines, Vika. But I hate to say it, I think that he's dropping short again.
Yeah, he's persisting on that hand. I thought he might have changed to the other, playing the forehand down to John's bowl. At the moment he's just leaving it open there for John to just draw in another shot.
Again, John picking his nice line he's found that he really likes. Coming in very well, just unlucky enough not to rest his own. Again, Zavika pushes it out wider, and straight away you can see that weight.
John's picked the road again. Again, all on his way. He'll be wanting to get another one close now.
Which this one won't be too bad at all, look.
Yeah, short ball coming in. I see Zvika's going to either have to draw a drive at this. I think I'd have been tempting to just... He hit it well once before coming in this direction. It might have been worth going again. Choosing the neat draw, he's only got about 4 inches to draw that.
Well, this time he's about. Sandra having a...
Next ball is down from the jack, the last one, is it, Sam?
Forces John to change to the backhand. So if he gets to his own shot bowl, it's coming towards the jack. His danger off the forehand was just tipping Zvika's bowl in. John looks very close here, Richard.
He does indeed. It's going to be a really good bowl.
Touch on that jack
That
too.
now that has made it very awkward for Zvika.
You see, I think
He's obviously not drawing well. So is he going to have a pop at this?
well, the thing is that he could take his own bowl out possibly.
Well, he could do, but he's definitely not drawing very well.
That's why I think he should have perhaps been choosing that shot with his last shot. He's now left himself in a bit of a predicament. He doesn't really want to drop a 2 or a 3 here. His own bowl down the forehand sides probably stopped the runner of his own bowl through into the head. Unless he plays it with a lot more weight. Sticking with his backhand.
You need weight to hold that up before it starts to whip. Unfortunately.
I think it's still 2 to John there, Richard.
Yeah.
2 shots and the number 11 seed at this event, John Price, takes a 6-0 lead after 4 ends in the second set.
Yes, you can see from Zvika's expression he's getting a little bit frustrated now, which, you know, is understandable. But being the sportsman as he is, he won't let it get to him. He will continue to fight every inch of the way. John straight away going for his long length and his line that he loves. Well, particularly here anyway. And just dropping down sweetly.
You see, that's a very good ball, Richard. You're just trying to keep it tight here now. 6.
Yeah.
Your opponent's got to start making counts.
Well, that was a bit better for Zvika there. John again picking his line.
He's favouring the forehand here.
He is, and he's really
Both
got to grips with it
directions,
well,
yeah.
hasn't he? Just dropping a tad short, but still not a bad place to be.
Just like we mentioned earlier, in these first round games, certainly the first few ends, in particular for the seeds, is just settling in, just finding out what they want to play on the surface.
Now again, Zvika's gone high, and again, look at that. Again, he's pushed it.
John's put another one in the head. There's still a bit of room there. Well, Zvika's watching this.
Oh, unlucky.
Just edged the jack, wanted really to pick it up full.
Yeah. John Price again, just trying to drop in there. Look at that.
That's a good bowl, that, because he
It's a
hasn't
very good
widened
bowl.
the target at all.
I think even if that was hit with a full on, I'm not sure that all of them would go.
Well, we might be about to find out.
Well,
He's in the
he's
area.
about.
He's
He
in
is
the
about.
area. That was the
No,
danger.
that was the
I
absolute
think his
danger.
own ball was
Yeah.
always going to go out. It was how many of John's
Yeah.
he was going to take as well, and a count of 3 for John there. That's a 9-0 lead. 9-0
Yeah.
lead with 4 ends to play.
Yes, I'm afraid Zvika really has got an uphill battle now.
Yeah, frustration setting in a bit now, I think.
Yes, you can see it on his face. But from the way those bowls were sitting, you know, even with a full-blown strike, I wouldn't have seen all those bowls go.
No, he had a chance of a couple going, but his own ball was always going to go out the head, so it was
Mm.
how many of John's he could take with it. And like I say, I think it's just a sign of frustration now. And John's dropped that lead short.
Well, it's the first one he's dropped short for several ends now.
Definitely, he's been finding his forehand very nicely. She's got a wry smile there.
Yeah, little kick of his feet.
Now John just is going to pile on the pressure now, I would think. Just keep going.
Changed his hand, obviously. Didn't like Zvika's bowl being where it was.
As mentioned earlier, since John's got back into the top 16, he's just trying to consolidate
Yeah,
that
look
by
at
getting
this.
points.
Absolutely bob on
Excellent
the
bowl,
monkey.
John. Each of these games count for ranking points for these players.
Yeah.
And John's one of those that when you get between the ranking of 10 and 16, you need to keep the points going to keep you in the top 16. So every game matters to these guys.
Well,
Position of my ball, Jack out.
Better reply from Zvika there, but John had nailed it, so it makes it hard work.
well, it does. I mean, really, Zvika needs a score of at least a 2 in this end to have any chance of pulling through, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he needs to. Well, he's got to try and pick up 9 in 4 ends. So that's a percentage of at least 2, if not more, an end. Very quick, precise information given there by Sandra McLeish. Again, when these players are playing under the shot clock, the umpires have got to be very, very quick with their response. They anticipate what the player is going to ask and have the answer at hand.
Well, for once, Zvika didn't push that when he went on the high line, but I think he's tried to compensate and
Try to play the perfect bowl, Richard.
not quite made it.
Well, again, John doesn't want anything too fancy here. He'd be
No,
quite
I
happy
think
to
he's just
accept
going to
the
cover
one.
behind, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. just in case.
Can't see Zvika getting a count out of this as he's got 2 short bowls in the head. He's got to count, really, or he makes life very hard work for himself. Called a timeout. Well, he's watching
Well,
it.
he was looking for a run, but again,
Another one to John. 10-0. As we were saying yesterday, in yesterday evening's game, it's a question of start the car, folks. I think this could be over at the next end.
well, John quite not on the tee.
And his bowl not quite reaching.
Oh, Zvika sitting one there on the jack. John looking to respond to that, to shut him out.
John's just dropped short again.
Not quite made it.
Well, Zvika would be quite happy to pick up a count here. He really needs quite a big count though, 3 or 4 to keep him in it.
Wow. Just
The
gone
bad ball
through.
again.
Yeah, if John can just shut that down now, if he can just drop one down round there, anywhere around Zvika's toucher.
Yeah, he won't be bothered about dropping the one.
Well, there's your answer.
Yeah, just trying to close it down now. 1 is no good to Zvika at all.
As you said, he definitely needs either a 3 or a 4.
Well, even a count of
again-
1 would leave John 9 up with 2 ends to play, so it's impossible to get back.
Well, all on John's way. It's coming in now. Coming in.
Yeah, good bowl again there.
So Zvika's got to beat that last bowl. Well, he's having a run. What's he running at?
I don't know actually, unless he was thinking about taking the jack through, right through to the back.
Well, there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That's John Price through to the second round.
Yeah, where he'll meet Rob Paxton again as last year.
And we'll have your next match with you in about 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
first time on the blue portable ring. It's come all the way from the United States of America. Give a warm welcome to Aaron Zangle. And ladies and gentlemen, he's up against the semi-finalist world pairs and quarter-finalists in the world singles, world rank number 13. Welcome, Jonathan Ross.
Good morning. Welcome to this first round encounter. Jonathan Ross, Aaron Zangle. Quite a daunting task, I think, here, Robert, for Aaron.
Yeah, definitely. First time on the carpet for Aaron. He'll be obviously relishing the challenge playing Jonathan, one of the longest serving players on the tour. He's been sort of 15, 16 years, I think, now on the circuit. So it'll be a tough test for Aaron this morning.
Just be hoping to make a reasonable start, get a few close balls, settle the nerves. Jonathan Ross plays at the Paisley Indoor. Seasoned campaigner here. Always a dangerous player. Never easy to beat is Jonathan. Hasn't had a lot of success, but never easy to put him away. Good drawing player.
Yeah, Jonathan's very dangerous. The early couple of rounds just hasn't quite squeak over the line in some of the later rounds, which is a surprise how good he is at the game of singles. Certainly a decent start for Aaron. That'll settle him down well.
Quite a good compact style delivery there, Robert, isn't it? You know,
Yeah,
got a
good,
lot
clean, pretty
yeah.
smooth. I mean, Aaron's obviously a decent player, someone who's in the World Bowl squad for the USA in 2012, which is a good achievement for any player.
Excellent start.
Jonathan might be going early at this.
Yeah, John, renowned as a good drawing player. The running ball, he would probably be the first to admit, is not always his best shot, but that was a great ball. Good strike, probably got the shot.
Thank you.
Well, just a nice draw here for Aaron, nothing special. See if he could repeat the second and third deliveries. Looks slightly up, just slightly high. We'll see John changing to the backhand here.
Chance for a free shot here on the first. Looking after the first three, he'd certainly have taken that.
I think that noise seemed to put him off there. The TV crews have arrived. TV coverage starting tomorrow, so I don't know whether that just put Jonathan slightly off that delivery. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. One to Jonathan Ross, he's on the board. He's got the mat up a little bit here. The jack on the tee. As you could see, there's plenty of spaces in the audience for anyone who wants to come and watch the balls. A lot of good viewing today. Top players playing later on, Greg Harlow, David Gurley. So if you're in the Perth vicinity, get yourself over here. Watch some top class bowling. A little bit wide with that one, Aaron.
So Jonathan started off with a great lead bowl, puts the pressure on qualifiers straight away. So I've been there myself, and you need to settle down early. You want that first shot on the board just to settle the nerves and get yourself going.
Well, Aaron had a good first end really, Jonathan strike really, so both players will be reasonably happy. But this is what Jonathan Ross will do once he gets into rhythm, putting the balls round the jack all the time. Well, Aaron right away changing to the forehand side. Don't know if that was quite necessary. Jonathan will just be looking to hopefully pass the head here.
Just slipping his own is perfect.
No, that's a good ball.
Great ball.
Excellent balls. Well, Aaron running after this ball.
All on pace for this one. Just on the top. First couple of days it's been very critical on pace with line here.
Yeah, the carpet probably not playing as exacting it has in previous years, Robert, but I mean it's still playing well, but
Yeah,
just
it's just
occasional run, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just down to weight. If you've got good weight, you're always going to be thereabouts. Anything over, and you do struggle to get back.
Yeah, Jonathan's a good weighted player. Normally deadly on the draw. This looks like number 4.
Let's just widen the head slightly, and could be tempted at this.
Well, I don't think it'll be a forehand this time. I'd agree, Robert. Looks tempting to run into this, probably on the backhand side.
Could come out with a couple of shots if he gets good contact. He's got the 2 deepest.
To the forehand. I think he's right now. Well,
He's changed the back.
changed to the back, rightly so. Yeah, playing the right shot here.
It's a standard touch. Bowl and jack.
Oh, well played. Excellent shot, Aaron.
Great shot. Come away with a single.
Yeah, well played, Aaron Zango. Good strike. 1-1. And there's the cup they're playing for. Alfred Funeral Care, Scottish Open champion. I think you were, was it 2 years ago, Robert?
It was about 3
years ago.
years ago now. Yeah,
Time flies.
it does. Yeah, that was my breakthrough event. Really got me into the 16, and it's just gone on from there.
Yeah, he's playing good balls. Played well yesterday, didn't you? It's a good
Yeah, I had a
win.
good second set. Got out of jail a little bit in the first set. Martin Rice played well first set. Just struggled a little bit on the shorter jack second set, but so I did have a good second set.
You've got my old mate, Mr. Price, now.
Yep, yeah, it'll be a tough one against John. He's playing some good bowls these days. He's back into some form, so played well this morning. So I have to put him under pressure and see how we go.
Yeah.
But again, John's never an easy person to beat on this carpet.
He knows it well.
He does. So he dropped out of the 16 a couple of years ago, but so give John full credit. He's fought back in, got through to the final of this event. Must be probably about 6-7 years ago, I think now.
Yeah, I
Lost
think
to
it
Paul
was.
and got himself back into the 16.
And he stayed there.
Yeah.
Aaron's obviously favouring the shorter length. I actually watched him last night in practice, and this was the length he was playing most of the time. They were practising short jacks all the time, and he was playing it well, so he started off quite good this morning. This looks a good second ball. Yeah, well played.
Yeah, he's put a lot of time in on the carpet the last 3 or 4 days, Aaron, which say first time you've got to do that. It's unusual, to be honest, to see a qualifier go with the shorter lengths.
Yes, yeah, they're normally favoured the longer because they're playing outdoors, and the outdoors obviously slower than these pace. But it's a good tactic, and I'd agree he's putting a lot of time in it, and well, so far it's proven to be successful.
Right reply from Jonathan Ross there.
Oh yes, well
Great
played,
shots.
John. Just a draw here for Aaron.
Great offer.
Yeah, good try, good weight.
Gives himself good options for the next ball.
Certainly does. I don't know if Jonathan will be playing the backhand here, staying away from the head. No, he's sticking to the
Staying away.
forehand.
Just trying to sit on the top of his bowl. Probably.
I think he was frightened to go near the head here. Little chance here for Aaron.
Not an easy shot, but with the 2 or 3 bowls you've got the comeback, a little slide back off those, he could be setting Jonathan's bowl away for a 2 or a 3.
Hardest shot on the carpet, there, Robert. This isn't it. You
It
know,
is,
just try to
yes.
play this with 2 feet away. It's quite a difficult shot. Sometimes this is where the new players tend to want to play the typical shot here, and some of the experienced players know that it's not on.
Yeah, you almost play the right shot for the game and not for the carpet.
Correct.
It's not knowing the carpet. Anything no, just over is such a hard shot on this.
Well, Jonathan line 1 here. I think it's going to be difficult to add. Could possibly give this away.
Turning the backhand now, just a wide draw. This will be a bonus one if he gets this.
I think he's just happy with the 1. Three ends played, 3 singles. 2-1 to Jonathan Ross.
I think think Aaron will be the slightly happier of the two early doors. Playing some decent bowls first time on the carpet, and he's staying with Jonathan at the moment, which as a qualifier that's all you look to do in my eyes. If you're staying with him and you're only 1 or 2 down at 7 or 8 ends, there's only going to be one player that's more worried on the rink, and it's not going to be the qualifier.
Exactly, I agree, Robert. Keep the game tight early on. The pressure will then revert to Jonathan, because he's expected to win this game comfortably. So yeah, the more that Aaron keeps in the game, the greater the pressure will be added on to Jonathan. It's not a good opener. Aaron favouring the forehand in this direction. Most players have slightly preferred the backhand, but he knows the rink. Reasonable
Decent.
opener. Body language suggests he didn't like that one. I think he's just fooling us.
He must have been watching Darren a bit too much during the summer.
Yes. Yeah, Darren Burnett, he had a good summer.
What a 12 months he's had so far. World Championship in January, and then picking up a Commonwealth Games singles gold in Glasgow.
Yep, can't beat that. He showed it yesterday as well, didn't he, against Robert Whale?
Yes.
Some balls to win his game.
Yeah, some fantastic runners in the tie-break there. And the little bits go for you as well. I mean, the last end on that tie-break, Rob's so unlucky for his bowl to drop away, but
Yeah,
when you're winning and doing well, those little things do tend to go for you.
yeah, certainly do. Jonathan just trying to reach in the deep green ball here, counting for 2.
Just a run a touch. Great offer from Jonathan.
That makes it just slightly more awkward now for Aaron.
Gap to the front of the last ball.
Temptation here is to run at this head, but I think he's sticking to the draw.
Yeah, Jonathan's bowl's just dropped away, so it's back to the 1 now, I think.
Well, Aaron running after this. Has he got the running? Don't think he has.
Important bowl for Jonathan here. He needs to get something else there, because his 2 bowls could be ripped out the head at the moment,
Yeah, I
the
think-
way they lie.
Yeah, I'd agree, Robert. I think either that or just a deep ball, because I would think Aaron will be attacking this. I agree, he needs a good ball in here. Aaron quickly going back to the head.
Which Jonathan's played a great bowl. He's unlucky.
Very unlucky. Very unlucky. Looked good there for resting the green ball for 3.
Well, Aaron's walked away. I think he's already made his mind up. He's probably going to stick to the draw down
I
4, I
think
think.
so. There's only 1 down on the head. No guarantee you would get the shot with the runner, so just a draw.
He seems to be on a decent line. Pace seems a little bit better this time. Is he
Will he
getting down
bend?
enough? Is he getting down enough? That's a
good
great
try.
offer.
Very good try.
He's got a little touch on his green. I don't know if that's done enough.
Yeah, I think it's just the 1.
So the singles continue. It's a 4th end play. Jonathan leads 3-1.
looking at Jonathan Ross's ranking, I mean, he's actually been in the top 16 since the year 2001, and he's never moved from the position of 9th to 15th, no sorry, 16th, so he's always been basically out the top 8. Never actually managed to get himself into the top 8, however, he's always been in the top 16, which is the main thing, Robert. Just got to keep in there.
Yeah, he's, as we said earlier, it's very tough to beat in the sort of the opening 1 or 2 rounds. Whether he just relaxes a little bit, because that's almost enough to keep him in the 16, not too sure, but so it's surprising looking through Jonathan's record. Plenty of quarterfinals, but he's doesn't tend to get past the quarterfinal stage.
Yeah, he's a tough early round player. One day, maybe this will be his season to get that elusive first title.
Obviously picked up the 4 touches at Potters as well last year in the quarter-final round.
I remember you actually doing that, Robert. Was that 2 or 3 years ago up here as well?
Yeah.
Were you the first to do it?
Yeah, it was the first year they did it. Tight and heavy with all 4. It was very good.
A nice little prize of £1,000.
Yeah, it was a nice little prize. I'd have taken the semi-final win first though, to be honest.
Yeah, you're right. A nice bonus. Jonathan's just been catching Aaron out slightly with the mat up a little bit here, as we could see. The mat's about 2 or 3 metres off the tee, but the jacks, as we could see, is on the tee.
Jonathan's looking good again. Gets down the centre line and be very good. It's a great set of bowls.
That's
Putting
very
Aaron
good.
in lots of trouble now.
I'd agree. The short red ball is posing problems for the heavy ball, so this is an awkward head now for Aaron. Changing to the backhand draw. Not easy.
Target bowl, I think, will be Jonathan's last bowl. If he can land that, he'll be getting a good second. All on the run down now. It's not quite running home.
He's cut the count down. It's down to 2, but still not any easier for Aaron. Jonathan may be happy here with just the 2 shots. Maybe playing a position ball here.
Yeah, he doesn't want to drop his own bowl down off the forehand. He's turned to the back. Probably looking to just split the 3 green bowls.
Yeah, I think that's where he's going. This is a good ball. Well, what does he do here, Robert? How does he get the shot?
I think he's just got to draw the shot, to be honest. I think if he's dropping off Jonathan's second bowl, drop away, he could get the win. The front red bowl stops any real attacking bowl, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it does. Just the perfect draw, probably on the backhand. I think his choice of shot has been correct all morning, has Aaron?
He's just got through this a bit though.
Yeah, on the high and wide side. It's going to be 2 to Jonathan. Starting to open a little gap now in this set. More spectators arriving. Aaron tending to favour both the forehands here. Don't know whether he slightly prefers his forehand. Some players do prefer one hand to the other. Jonathan's playing the same side of the carpet. He's actually playing the backhand in this direction and the forehand the other way. So every player has their choice.
A lot depends on bowls you're using on the turn and everything like that as well. Is on the hands you play. I think yesterday a lot of people favoured both backhands. Yesterday's play, the temperature obviously can make a big difference on this carpet as well.
Yeah, I think both the backhands have often been the favoured hands. Robert, I think you played the forehand, didn't you, from what I could recall, or did you play the forehand?
I play both backhands.
Both
yesterday.
backhands, yeah.
It's actually unusual for me. I do normally actually prefer both forehands on this on the carpet. The way it's playing up here this year, I've turned to the backhand.
Yeah. Trouble with this forehand is slightly wide here. That's what tends to happen, is you just drift past it and don't get back to the centre.
It's dropping your first short. You know you've got to be up with the second. As soon as you just get through them a little, they're not getting back off that line. That's where the experience on the carpet does start to tell.
Yeah, once again, Jonathan changing his hand, probably going for cover again.
He's drawing if he gets a little bit of turn now.
Yeah, Jonathan just actually saying that the ball kicked out, and I think it does a little bit on that forehand side. It sometimes just doesn't come back naturally. Oh, this looks quite tempting, I would think, Robert, to reach through at this.
Yeah, he needs to score this end, Aaron. So I'll be tempted to rive this.
Well, sticking to the draw.
His height, looks distance is all on his pace. Needs
Good
to
effort.
run.
Oh, well played.
Great shot, just dropped away. You did see a little flatten there actually with
Yeah.
Aaron's bowl, about 2.5 foot out. This last bowl has given him options. Jonathan might be tempted to go deep off the other this time.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be going near the head. He'll be anticipating a heavier ball from Aaron. Anything behind the head, as we see here, that'll be a good ball.
Looks to be just drawing in.
That's a good ball. Don't quite know if he actually wanted it there, but it's a good ball. But
He's got a bonus with the touch. Ball will be going back.
well, Aaron, I think you're going to have to hit this. Had one good strike, and second end here. I think he'll be striking here on the forehand. Possibility of removing your own ball, but I think he's got to take a chance.
Yeah, so he's needing the shot this end, I think. Looking for the green bowl, could get the top edge of the green, could get 2 or 3 of the reds out, possibly lock in. Good result, could score a double.
He's taking a time out, so he's getting himself composed on the mat here. This has got to play with weight with this one. Oh, he's still trying to. He's playing the awkward weight.
Needs to run up, needs to run, he's not sent.
That was not the right shot there, Robert.
No. It's just a bit of experience, possibly feeling a little bit now, the fact the score's just creeping away from him.
He had to gamble there, I think. I mean, 7-1 down, it's going to be difficult to get back into this set. Should have taken a gamble. If he'd lost a 4, too bad.
Loosen the arm up a bit as well, give yourself
Yeah.
a chance.
Well, he had a good strike on the second end and scored the shot, so I think he would have taken a gamble there. 7-1 to Jonathan Ross. 3 ends to play. Zango. He's from the Hermosa Beach in California. Does that not sound fantastic, Robert?
It does. It doesn't sound cold and wet like most of our outdoor greens when we play over here in the summer. It does sound nice.
Hobbies of surfing, sailing and scuba diving. Slightly different to our lifestyles.
Yes, very much so.
Very jealous.
I should imagine there's a few members from his home club who'll be watching Aaron now on YouTube, showing
Yes.
the support for him.
Yes, I've heard there is going to be a few watching. I guess it's the early hours of the morning in California. Watching Aaron, who's played well.
And there's a great offer here from Aaron as well.
Two good balls, but still one to Jonathan Ross.
I think he's just got to change his game a little bit. Bowls in the head are all good, but I think he's just got to start attacking a little bit more. Because Jonathan will outdraw Aaron most ends.
Yeah, I think sometimes, I think he's came with a game plan, has Aaron. I think the game plan has really been to draw as much as you can, but I'd agree, Robert, sometimes you've got to mix it up with these players. Or drawing just not going to always get you the results.
Trying to upset them sometimes if you start going early. I know I've used that tactic a few times against Mervyn. Obviously Mervyn's one of the best drawers in the games. Go early, try and upset them.
That's right. If somebody's outdrawing you, sometimes that's what you've got to do. Oh, you're running out of time here, Aaron. You better get a move on. Yeah,
Just about caught that one.
I think he quickly saw that he was down to 2 seconds.
Scotland's the usual one where we do get the buzzer go. I think Mr. Harlow was the first one a couple of years ago. Got caught up here.
Yes.
No, his dearest Kay wasn't too amused on the balcony at the top. I won't repeat what she did say.
Yes, I wasn't totally in favour of the shot clock when it came into being a couple of years ago. However, I've adapted like all players. I think we start to get used to it now.
Yeah, it's one of those things. As I said, when it came out, if it's good for the sport, then it stays. If not, then it's something to look at. From the sound of it, people do like it, but say as player-wise now, I think we've got used to it, and we don't even notice it's there these days.
It's, I think we're now up to 5 visits per game now. Did we start off with 3, Robert? Was it?
I think it started with 3. We're up to 5 in the 2 sets, and if you do go to tie break, you do get 1 extra available in the tie break as well.
It speeds the game up, certainly. Stops all the slow players taking their time.
Which is ideal for TV coverage. Quicker game, easier to plan for timings.
Exactly. Yeah, most games now are approximately an hour and a half. In the past, they could arrange from an hour and a half to 3-4 hours. So I think it is certainly better. Aaron running up here, he realises that he doesn't want to use all his timeouts.
12 seconds, he should have plenty of time from now.
Just get himself composed on the mat. He's going to be attacking this, I think. Yeah, it's the right shot.
He slips the front red. Just caught.
That was always the problem ball. One shot to Jonathan Ross, 8-1. 2 ends to play. Jonathan sticking to his game plan. Mat up about 2 or 3 beaters. Jack onto the tee.
Yeah, Jonathan will be looking to close the set out on this end. Nice and sensible.
Yes, I don't think he'll want this to go into a ninth end. I think with that opening ball, I think it would be very rare, I would think, for Aaron to score a 3 or a 4 here.
Yeah, Jonathan's been too many bowls in the head really for Aaron to get a score, but you never know.
Now Aaron's continually playing this forehand. I think the tactic might be to change, I think, as the game progresses. Now maybe the second set change perhaps in this direction to play the backhand. Got to change the tactics a little bit. At the moment Jonathan's just dictating play.
Yeah, from my book to the red ball, please.
I think Jonathan might even go even deeper this time,
Yeah,
just
I
to
think
cover
so.
all opportunities.
Yeah.
Leave the head well alone.
Looks like he's drawn another. Yeah, just a 1. Now, got to take a reach through the head again, Aaron, but keep this ball on the green to have a little chance of a 3 perhaps.
Needs to be reaching.
Good try. But it's going to be even more difficult now for Aaron to score the required 3 to keep this game going.
Yeah, with Jonathan's bowl touching Aaron's there, he's not going to be able to take that away without removing his own. So a couple of bowls left of this set, I'd say.
I think so. I'm not sure if that was deliberate from Jonathan, blocking the head out, which is a shot that's played by a lot of players, the block. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say he played that deliberately there. Not sure if it was though, Robert. Well, sticking to the draw, I think he realises that the 3 or a 4 here is going to be very difficult.
He's given it a great offer.
Yeah, that should give him a little bit of confidence going into the second set. But it's 1 shot to Jonathan Ross, and it's the first set to Jonathan Ross.
I'm guessing Jonathan's kept the jack for this start of the second set. Obviously his tactics has been working well, so he's just going to keep doing his game plan. I think Aaron's got to shake things up and just change his style of play a little bit in this second set.
I agree, Jonathan's getting in early and dictating play, so Aaron, just as I agree, Robert, shake it up a little bit. If not, he's back to Hermosa Beach, California. Good morning to all his friends in California. Right, Aaron, let's get this opening ball good. He's got that tendency to reach through on this length, isn't he? Just playing better on the shorter.
Yeah, that couple of metres with the mats just making a bit of a difference with Aaron, to be honest. So you can get a little bit tense out there. Arm gets a little bit stiff. And so when your opponent's just putting bowl after bowl close, it does make it hard out there. It can be a lonely place.
Yeah, it certainly can. Important he makes a good start to this set. Keep in the game. This looks better.
He's keen with this. It's a great shot from Aaron.
Yeah, well played. The back toucher. Not easy for Jonathan to beat this.
Not all Aaron will be thinking. If another 7 or 8 of those over the next few ends, you've got a very good chance of sneaking the second set.
Yeah, easy as that. Jonathan changing to the backhand, trying to just rest the ball. Will he get back?
It's very close. His front ball might just rob him there.
Oh,
That's
that
a
was
great offer.
Oh, that was a great try. That was so close.
The wing ball gives Aaron a nice little target. Just beating the wing, he'll be in for a double.
Oh, just repeat exactly the same from the second delivery. Try and get another ball in the head. He's only got one in the head here, so important that this one counts. Will he bend? Oh, just holding out. Oh, Jonathan Ross may have 3 seconds here, so don't think he'll be short with this one.
Just on the underside this time,
Yeah, looks
Jonathan.
to be under.
Playing the hard shot on this carpet, but sometimes you are almost forced into playing it.
Yeah, I'd agree, Robert. We all get tempted into the shot, but the degree of difficulty was high.
So a chance for a free shot here for Aaron. Start the second set off very well.
He's probably got about a foot, 15 inches to draw another, so good chance here.
All down to his pace now. He's on a very good height.
Oh, just lacking the pace. Aaron takes a lead. That's what he wants. 1-0, second set. I think this will be a shorter jack with the mat back.
Jonathan in here with a very good opener. Opponent's length, and he's nailed a back knocker.
Yes, Aaron's just giving Jonathan a free run in this backhand. I think really, I know some players do prefer the forehand or they do prefer the backhand. I'm just wondering whether Aaron is just slightly favouring his forehand. maybe not confident on the backhand side, but he's allowing Jonathan just a free run.
So it could be worth a change. Try and get in on that hand before Jonathan, force Jonathan possibly to change.
A good ball again. Very well played. Very well played. Good bowling. Right, Aaron, are we going to see a heavy ball? No, sticking to the draw. Oh, yeah, he's clapping his hands there. He wasn't happy with that one.
Jonathan sticking to the backhand, just looking to add another, I think, now. Zaran hasn't really played a runner. I don't think Jonathan's too worried about back position at the moment. I think he's played another one here. Jonathan just needs to run out.
I don't think that one's counting, but awkward head here for Aaron. I mean, yeah, he's only 2 down. He might just be forced still just to draw here. Doesn't want to drop a 3 or a 4 on this end. Yeah, I think it's a wise choice, just to draw.
He's quite got through this again. That's a great try.
Good try. I think he's still 2 down though.
Jonathan's got to be careful here. Can't afford to drop his bowl on the jack.
No, I think it's going to be difficult for Jonathan to add anything here, Robert, I think. Don't think this will be going too near the head. Taking the 2.
So it's never easy for the overseas players to come here and play on this carpet. But so I know, talking to most of them each tournament, they do love the experience of coming and competing against the world's best players, which they thrive on and do enjoy, and they do compete sometimes. But say it is hard adapting from the outdoor surfaces they normally play on to come in and play on an indoor single rink green. It can be intimidating out there, very narrow, just a single rink.
I agree, Robert. I mean, Aaron's adapted quite well. I don't think he's disgraced himself in any way. I think he's played quite well. Just occasionally he's maybe just lacked a little bit of experience, and as you say, Robert, unless you've been on the carpet a lot, that's obviously what you can't gain for the first time here. But he's a good player.
Yeah, so he won a national championship in USA back in 2011. So I mean, he's obviously been around for a few years, competing at a decent level back at home.
Neil Furman from America. He's the most famous American player who's been over here more times than any other American player that I could recall of anyway.
So Neil's turned over with a few results as well on the tour as well.
He's a good competitor. Oh, chance here for Aaron. Jonathan's opening 2 balls, not his normal standard. Chance here to get a good shot in. Oh, he's not taking a chance. You feel Jonathan might just punish him now.
Yeah, I'd expect a Jonathan get one in here now. 3rd attempt.
Well, he's pushing this ball up as if he's shot again. Wow.
Probably good enough for the win.
That looks to be now blocked to forehand. It'll be interesting to see if he changes to the back. Surely he must now, Robert. No, sticking to the 4. Well, that last ball looks to be blocking him out.
Didn't seem to get that one away too well either, to be fair.
Yeah, I think that was a backhand shot, I'm afraid, Aaron.
The time he needed to step in with either the 2nd or 3rd bowl there, Jonathan gave him a bit of room. Which is probably one of the first ends that Jonathan's actually given him a chance.
Yes. Yeah, you'd expect Jonathan just to get a closer shot with this ball. Yeah, that's the winner.
Surely now Aaron's got to turn over onto the backhand.
Oh, I think so, Robert, here. It's crying out for a backhand shot. There's lots of chances. It's just still the draw, but as you can see on the screen there, the left-hand side of the screen, that red ball is just blocking out the forehand draw. This really is a backhand draw.
Stand forehand.
He obviously just doesn't like his backhand.
There's
That's
no
the
room
bottom.
for error on this hand. It'll be inch perfect.
Temptation here is to go wide and heavy.
Just to push through after his last bowl short, which he's done.
Oh, it's going to be 3 shots here. That's Aaron's probably worst end of the game. Well, 2 out.
Umpire on for the first time, Brian Daly. One of the best eyes in the game, Mr. Daly has. He's given you advice plenty of times out there, Andy, I believe.
He certainly has. They come in handy to do these umpires and markers. Do a good job. It's easily 3. Yeah, 3 shots.
Scrappy in for Jonathan there and picks up a 3. He wouldn't have been expecting that, but so unfortunately Aaron couldn't quite step on it that time, given a bit of room.
Yeah, you feel as though you had to take that chance, Robert. 5-1. It's a long road back now. Umpires having a laugh between each other. Alan Thornhill and Brian Daly there, joking about something.
I think Alan called it as a 2 from listening to Brian then. So I think he's going to send Alan Thornhill off to Specsavers after this game.
I think Brian Daly hinting there was about 2 inches in it. That's normally one of my measures that I call them. Just checking here, is it going to fall back and touch the jack? Well, the rules state that it's a toucher until this ball that's played by Aaron comes to rest. Is that right, Robert?
Thought it was from delivery.
Oh.
Thought it was the point of delivery.
So I thought it was till this green ball came to rest.
If
Basically
anyone's-
now. Please email in your answers to the question.
Well, Bolsaw, flood your emails in. I'm sure Mr. Madison would love a few hundred emails today to go with the extra work he's got out there.
So I'm going with the Aaron's ball coming to rest. You're going with Aaron's delivery.
Yes.
Right. We'll find out after the game, Robert. I'm not too good with rules.
No, that's why I have umpires to tell us what to do.
You're right.
Another couple of decent bowls from Aaron, but he's not quite nailing the jack out there today. Just giving Jonathan that foot 18 inches all the time. Would he be tempted?
Well, he's been once or twice. It looks like a backhand shot, and he's just always veered away from it. So, but this must be backhand now.
Yeah, he might be tempted a little run, chip the bowl. He's got the spot if needed.
Yeah, he's playing the backhand, so he's playing the right shot here.
He's playing just over the pace, I think. Well,
He's
he gets
just trying
down.
to draw it. Good try.
He's probably given himself 3 seconds there, so Jonathan does need another one in there.
He certainly does. A brisk walk down to the head. Changing to the forehand side. I'd agree, he needs another ball in the head.
Gets a clean. He's dropped away from the seam, so he's still probably got a couple of seconds there.
Well, he's got to attack this, Robert. I mean, he's got the spot. Probably scores 2 shots on the spot if the jack goes off. So
Yeah, big down the forehand. I think he could get the bowl away clean. Give himself a double.
yeah, he's got to attack this. Looks like a backhand runner. Well, I think he's just reaching weight, and this is so difficult. He's
Won't get
pushed
off
it
that
out.
line.
I had to go faster. Once again, Robert, it's experience on that mat, on that green. You don't play these shots, they're difficult. There we see the head. Needed to play more weight. 6-1 for Jonathan Ross. Second set. Had a loose end in this direction the last time, did Jonathan, but he's recovered well. It's more like his opening deliveries. It's got a tendency here just to push through on this forehand, just normally 3 or 4 feet through. That's been happening. That's been the pattern of the game, really.
Yeah, hasn't found a consistent length really this way. He'll be disappointed, I think, the way he's finishing the game. He started the game off pretty well, to be fair to him.
Yeah, he did.
John has stepped up a gear from the first 2 or 3 ends.
Good experience for Aaron. Hopefully he'll be back again to try to qualify. I know he's not out of this game yet, but it's still a long road back now.
Yeah, Aaron's looking, he'll probably have to win all the ends from here, to be honest, I think, to give himself a chance, which is a hard feat for anyone, let alone a qualifier.
I'm not sure. Has Aaron qualified in any of the other events, Robert? Do you know? I don't know if he's qualified for the Worlds or the
I'm not sure.
International
I
Open.
know this is certainly his first taste of the blue carpet. I'm not sure if he's through in any of the other tournaments this year. So certainly after his experience here, he would certainly want to come back, as all players do.
His weight looks better here. A good try. Good second. That was Aaron on the screen there, just looking at the angles. What happens if he hits the head? You can see him on the left of the screen there, just looking at the angle. What happens if he plants the ball out? You get the feeling as though the jack will still move. But
I think Jonathan's just taking this away anyway. I think he's played an absolute pearl of a bowl here, Jonathan Ross.
yes.
Great shot. That has put Aaron in heaps of trouble.
Yeah, even attacking this, I don't know if there's a lot to be gained from it. 2 down. It's certainly got to be the backhand. Either run at this or draw it, Aaron. Well, the way he's hinting at that. Probably a runner.
As long as he hasn't forgotten the clock here as well.
Yeah, I know.
He hasn't looked at. Oh, there he has. It's new to probably Aaron, this shot clock. There's not many players that do and have used it around the world. The Australians have used it out, and they do use it out there quite a bit, so they're generally used to it. But most of the other countries here that come, it is a new format for them. His only option to get the win here, I think, Andy, is a backhand draw.
I think so. This is a big ball. Needs to score here, you feel?
And Lynch to draw it, it's not giving him much room.
Looks too wide and heavy. He's tended to push his backhand deliveries out a little bit. Two shots to Jonathan Ross, 8-1. Looking good for a second round game. Not sure who Jonathan will face, do you know, Robert?
I'm not too sure. I think it'll probably be the next match on. I'm not sure if that is that Mervyn and Mark. I'm not too sure. To be fair, I didn't look past the first round draw.
Yeah, I'm not sure
I don't tend to these days.
I'm not sure actually who Jonathan will face. Not sure. I'm sure he will know and let us know shortly.
Again, a good opener from John.
He's played well, Jonathan.
Yes.
As I said, he's always dangerous. You've got to play well to beat him, Jonathan. Aaron turning his back on this one. Knew he was short.
Not forced, did you? John sticking down the backhand, just looking to slip past Aaron's last bowl. Just over adjusted again.
Yard off your previous delivery, Aaron. Try to draw the shot here. No, he's looking at. I think he might have been looking at a runner here, but it's just a draw.
I would be surprised if he does go, 'cause he hasn't really favoured the runner.
That's his favourite shot. It's the forehand draw. How's your weight this time?
He's certainly looking better. Early drop. Is he just done a slip out the back?
Not quite.
Jonathan does need another bowl in here. Aaron does really need to score a double this end to give himself a chance. And then it's still going to be a tall ask.
Yeah, I think it's time for the gamble. Time to take chances. We see Aaron blocking the camera view, but he's looking at angles here just to see if he could probably play a backhand runner, try to move the jack. But this is going to make it hard for him now.
It's got to be going quick at this. Inside of the last, he could get Jonathan's two bowls away for a double.
I'd agree. I think I'd have a go at this.
He's turned over to the backhand. Should be quick. Looks like he's going. Yeah, he's just on top.
Too high. It's the right choice of shot. It just wasn't executed good enough. 2 shots to Jonathan Ross. 10-1. We're close to the conclusion of this game.
Yeah, I think Jonathan will be looking to seal the game certainly next end. Thoroughly deserved win for Jonathan. He's done what he's had to out there today. Just put his first couple of balls close and just build heads. And just put Aaron under lots of pressure out there.
Well, Jonathan just needs to score this end. That'll be it all over. In fact, Aaron needs to score, I think, 2 here to keep this game going. I'm sure Aaron will look back at the game. Robert, what do you think he's learned? What do you think he could learn really from this? And I mean, how does he adapt the next time he comes and plays the game? You know, what would you advise him really?
Just to attack more, to be honest. He's just kept with the draw. So whether he's mainly a front end lead back home for his club and that, just to attack more. Watch the other games whilst he's here. Watch the seeds and the players that are used to the carpet.
Yeah.
So that's any advice you can give anyone that comes and qualifies.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think following your opponent as well, who's experienced, I think that might have been a good tactic as well. Sometimes, you know, if he's picking a particular hand, why don't you go with him to early, especially in the early part of the game. He's played too much forehand draws for me. I think I would have been trying to play the backhand at times.
Backhand, he just seems to get through it a little bit.
I think he's favouring the forehand. I mean, I think he's stronger on his forehand side. I think that's probably why he's played both the forehands. But at this level, you've got to be able to play all hands. So I'm sure Aaron will look back at this. Good experience, but a little bit more work required.
Big learning curve. I mean, it took Neil Furman obviously from USA as well. Quite a few visits, but he's getting to know the carpet, and so he does get results on
he
the
does.
occasion now he comes over and he does perform.
Neil was never easy to beat. Yeah, the backhand just seemed to wobble out the hand a little bit. So I think that probably needs a little bit of work on.
Plenty of players have had issue with deliveries. I can speak from the heart with that one.
Oh yeah, it's nobody's got the perfect delivery. Everyone has to work at them.
It's always a working game. Even the top players are always just changing little bits and pieces of delivery and grips and everything.
You're right. Well, at the moment, Jonathan Ross is lying the game. Is this the last ball for Aaron Zangel?
I think he's just done a draw it, so I think he's realised he's not going to come back and get a win here. So this will be the last bowl of the match.
Yes, he needed to score 2. Looks a bit wide and heavy.
He's pushed it again. It's probably Aaron's worst end to finish the match off.
The 4 shots to Jonathan Ross. 2-0. Jonathan Ross, he's played well. He'll be happy with that performance.
Off for a lunch break now, and join us this afternoon for 5 games. I know you've got Les Gillett here doing a lot of the commentary this afternoon.